Yeah, when we get to that match, that's where I have a lot of beef with the internet saying Detroit's was a bad crowd because
I don't want to talk about that this reaction that it was a bad crowd. It was not, and when it was a dead crowd, it wasn't the crowd's fault.
Was it the crowd's fault when you guys were booing kids though?
Listen,
yes.
Listen, mistakes were made.
Listen, Detroit versus everybody.
You can understand the circumstance.
Philadelphia, I'm sorry, but
those guys.
We're salty people. I was on board. I thought it was fun when we were just generally booing Philly. When it turned into booing the children of Philly, it was like a little like, okay, let's
boo. You live in a terrible city that we don't want to go to because we're Detroit.
It's a Midwestern city. Like, what do we? You can't advertise that in the middle of our pay-per-view. Or I'm sorry, PLE.
You only can imagine what it would have been like if it was Ohio.
Okay, yeah, but they weren't Ohio kids. These were Philly kids.
Those kids would have deserved it.
I think it would have been worse had it been Ohio kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Like they need our help more.
Those like very popular now, like that the bleep every week on SmackDown. They have to go silent because of the FU Roman chants. That would have been like F them kids. It was Ohio kids.
Can I remind the city of Detroit that the reason that was there was so that we, as the city of Detroit, could have access to pre-show tickets.
That was the thing too. They were showing those promos and then putting up like a pre-sale code that was exclusive to the arena, and people were still like, "No!"
Ooh, Philadelphia. In reality, I like Philly. May or may not used to have lived that area for amount of time.
Oh gosh,
they or may not have.
No, I don't know.
I mean, we also booed the Kid Rock opening, so I feel like we are
hardcore. Yeah,
I feel like we're like represented there. Like we made a very clear message that no, this guy is not a Detroit icon to represent us right now. Yeah. Please stop this.
That was one thing I did note. When they played that video package on Peacock, there was zero crowd noise. They had cut the crowd noise completely.
They cut it out.
That actually is something I wanted to ask because I did notice that there wasn't crowd noise, so I was curious about what that was like.
No, he got booed
mercilessly. Booed out, like Logan Paul heat.
Yeah.
So that is something I wanted to ask because that wasn't something that you guys discussed. So
yeah.
Nobody be liking Kid Rock.
I will say this: watching the Peacock replay, I don't know if it's the acoustics in Ford Field. There was an issue too where it was louder in there than it came across on TV at the best of times. Like some of it wasn't. Like some of that was quiet was like not the reality of it being in the space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt the same way rewatching it. It felt like they totally underestimated the acoustics of Ford Field.
Yeah. Ford Field is a giant open box with a roof. Like it's a lot of I think even more than some other places. It's very wide. Like the layout, the angles aren't steep, so I think a lot of sound just goes up and away, even more so than other football type stadiums.
Well, that's the thing, though. I think I've heard that Ford Field is actually one of the louder stadiums in the NFL when it gets going.
I mean, it was loud to be in there too. I think it maybe the way they mic'd it, or
I think
they placed the crowd mics at where they weren't acoustically great spots. I don't know.
I'm not going to do this experiment because come on, but I would like to go and actually compare like the audio in Ford Field on the stream or whatever compared to like other stadiums, because I feel like
SummerSlam,
just because it's in a stadium, they lose a lot of that crowd noise. I mean, even back in the day when they were talking about Edge and Christian, I think we're doing an interview about how TLC 2 versus TLC, or the ladder match of WrestleMania 16 versus WrestleMania 17. They're like, man, I thought we were absolutely tearing it up at that TLC 2. I thought this was like way better than the first one, but we're not getting any reaction. Yeah. But it's because that was in the Alamo Dome and the sound just went up and died.
Yeah.